Hi, welcome back to Making Money with Mobile Games. I said that I was going to go into more detail about tournaments on Mistplay and whether they're worth playing. So here's a great example. They are running a tournament on Bud Farm Idle Tycoon right now. So, what does it say? Play Bud Farm Idle Tycoon before time runs out to earn gamer experience points and climb the ranks of a 100-player leaderboard. Up to 1,000 units are up for grabs, and all rewards will be sent out automatically once the tournament ends. The best part, no game experience point earning limits apply, so you can always move up the ranks. So that's the basics. Now, typically you can only play a game for 2 hours per day, and you will indeed not earn any more towards your checkpoint after you hit that 2-hour cap. However, you will still continue to go up the tournament leaderboards. Right now I'm in place 44, so if I'm anywhere in the top 50, I'm going to get a few units, but the prizes don't really start getting good until you get to the top 10. And in my opinion, it's not really worth it to compete unless you're going to think you're going to be in the top 3. So, why is that? The reason is that you spend a lot of time in the tournament if you want to come in the top 3 and get those big units. So first place is 1,000, second is 500, third is 350, but it goes down steeply after that. Now, 1,000 units sounds really nice unless you do the math. Now think about it. I don't know how many units you get per day. My goal is to try to make at least 300 units per day if possible, and closer to 500 is probably average for me, like on a weekend if I'm playing a lot of games. And if I've got some good games with good multipliers. So if you divide 1,000 by 7 days in a week, because each of the tournaments lasts for 7 days, and I believe they repeat them 4 times. So you have 4 chances to jump in on a tournament on the same game. So anyway, doing that math, that comes out to, like 120, 130 units per day? You're like, well, that's not bad. It's a nice supplement. If you're trying to make 300 a day, that's almost half of it. But you have to not only play it down. You not only have to play it down to that 2-hour mark, which means that you aren't gaining any more GXP and getting what you're going to earn at the next checkpoint. So after that 2 hours, you're still trying to stay on top of that leaderboard, and it takes you away from playing other games. So think about it. You could download some crappy bingo or slots game. You could make 20 units for playing it down to checkpoint 4 or 5 would get you 60 to 80 units. You could do that 4 times a day easily, because those slots ones, you don't even really have to pay attention to them. You just let them roll. And you could make more units in a week doing that than you could participating in these tournaments. So, I have mixed feelings. I haven't been trying real hard to place on the Bud Farm one. I'm kind of hoping I'll be in the top 50 just so I get a few units. But I'm not going to compete as hard as I did on some other ones. I did phase 10 and I came in first, I think, a couple of times. The first time was almost by mistake. I didn't know what tournaments were, and they entered me in one, and I won it by mistake. But another one, I was like carrying my phone around and keeping it on and on that phone, and I was using my data plan when I was out and about to try to stay in first place. And yeah, I got 1,000 units at the end of the week, but it sucked up so much of my playtime. I didn't really enjoy it after a while, and it kept me from playing other games with higher unit multipliers. So I don't necessarily recommend them. And the only reason I might play one is that I really enjoy the game anyway. That was the case for me with both Phase 10. Well, there's a few. Phase 10, Spades, and Garden Joy were all fun. And I was past the point where I would, checkpoint 7 is about the point where you start spending way too much time on the game to earn units, and see that I've already hit checkpoint 9 here on the bud farm. Well, played Garden Joy all the way out to 16. I'm not sure it's worth it, but if it's a game that you enjoy and you're going to spend a lot of time anyway in there, you might as well compete for the units, but just be aware that it's not necessarily a great deal and that you might end up skipping opportunities to play other games that would actually get you more units over the course of a week. So have fun if you want to try it out, but beware there are some drawbacks.